Hi, everyone. I'm Coach KT. Today, we're going to take a tour of this weekly meeting agenda. This agenda is designed based off of EOS's worldwide level 10 meeting tool. But today, I want to walk you through this template that I've created. Many of you have downloaded this template. I hope you're enjoying it. But let's start at the beginning of a level 10 meeting. That starts with a segue. So best practices when you're sharing your segue. If you are lucky enough where you're a local team and everyone's meeting in person together, don't share any screens yet during the meeting. Y'all just look face to face at each other and share and connect. That's what that part of the meeting is meant to do, just help you all connect as teammates. Now, if you're hybrid or all virtual, you're certainly going to be on screens, but don't share any windows yet, right? Just keep your cute boxes up with all your faces so everybody can see each other. Cameras must be on during this meeting. This is your mandatory weekly consistent check-in with your team, whether it's a leadership team, a strategic team, or department. We all need to see each other. That should be the bare expectation, is that our cameras are on and we're looking at each other. Now, once you get to the next section, number 2, the scorecard, yes, we need to share the screen. But during the segue, everyone should just be looking at each other, talking, connecting as humans, and then we move on to the scorecard. So let's do that together. So we get to the scorecard tab. A couple notes here on this template. I added a few sample metrics. Now, there is no one size fits all when it comes to creating a weekly scorecard. You do have to, unfortunately, roll up your sleeves and do the work, try some metrics out, track them. Are they helpful? Are they useful? If not, change them. The scorecard's also going to continue to evolve as the business evolves. Now, with the formatting I've done on this template, you don't need to touch the total or average columns. If you want to use the formulas I've already included in here, you can just update this weekly goal. Obviously, you can change these out. If some of these fit for you, great. If not, just get rid of them and type over them. If you need to use the formulas, you can always copy and paste them into other items. So it's your scorecard tutorial. Number 3 would be the rock review. So when you get to the rock review, at the top, we always do company rocks first. Why? Because they're the most important. 3 to 7 company rocks per quarter. These are the most important priorities. So we need to make sure that they're getting done. Through trial and error, me and my leadership team, we didn't have 90.io. We didn't have EOS 1. We didn't have Stretty. We didn't have Bloom. We had a good old spreadsheet. So I've taken what I've learned and applied it into this template for everyone. We found it extremely helpful to make sure the smart description of the rocks were listed here, so we weren't guessing where we're going or why we're going there. And then we also had checkpoints at the end of every 30 days of where did you want to be at the end of the 30 days? Are you there yet or not? And that makes it a lot easier to say if I'm on track or off track if I know where I'm supposed to be. That's why those are built there. At the bottom, you'll see there's a space for individual rocks. These are the additional rocks outside of company rocks that you can list and help everyone stay on track with as well. Next, we come to the headlines portion of the meeting. Everyone that attends a level 10 meeting should always be thinking of what headlines can I bring today to my group. You are often in different departments. You're talking to different employees. You have different vendors you're speaking with. You should be bringing any pertinent information about the industry that you're in, the vendors you're working with, your people, company updates. All of those should be added here each week. So I challenge each of you in your level 10 meetings each week to bring a headline like that. There's something you can report in the last 7 days that's happened that would be worthwhile for your teammates to know about. So your headline section there. Now, when we get to the 5th tab, or it's really the 4th tab here, I have to-dos and issues together. Now, I did this on purpose. It was very annoying to us as a leadership team to keep flipping back and forth between tabs. When you are IDSing issues, that's when the to-dos get created. Most of the to-dos anyway are created during that issues section, the IDS. And we found it was wasted time going back and forth. So we just put it at the top and it helped us tremendously. That way, if it's done and we don't need to talk about it, great, we just delete it. If it's done and we want to talk about it, we just cut it and paste it below. If it didn't get done and we want to talk about it, we would cut it and paste it below and then decide what the next steps are. And that way all of our to-dos got added while we were discussing and solving what those issues were going to be. So it's your to-dos and issues list. The last section here on the agenda is the conclude section. I do see a lot of teams skip this very important part of the meeting. You have 5 minutes in the agenda for a reason for this. You should recap your to-dos with the team. I know you just did that because you just finished IDS, but trust me, go back, go to tab and say, any questions? Everyone clear on what the expectations are between now and next week on these to-dos? Is there any reason these can't get done? Okay, then I expect 100% completion next week. Now remember, the goal is 90% completion week over week. Also during the conclude, we talk about cascading messages. Cascading messages are anything that we discussed or agreed upon today in this meeting that 1, 4, 10, 100 people need to know about. So what we need to do is create new to-dos on what the message is going to be, when we're going to send it, who's going to get it, and how are we going to send that message. So the to-dos get captured, you guessed it, right here on the to-do list about those cascading messages, if you have any. If not, you can skip that step for your conclusion on that particular week. And then lastly, we get this rating 1 to 10. The goal is to have 8 and above. And when you start rolling out level 10 meetings or start them for the first time, it is very normal to have ratings that are 5s and 6s and 7s, at least for the first 4 weeks. And that's just because it's a new behavior. It kind of feels awkward. And that's just kind of normal for any new thing that we're doing. But by week 5 and 6, you should have 7s, 8s, 9s by then. However, that's going to take time. If you're consistently knocking 7s or 8s after 5 or 6 meetings, call us at Integrator Impact. We'll help you through that roadblock. If somebody scores the meeting lower than an 8, I'd say after the 6th meeting, ask what could we have done differently today to make this an 8, 9, or 10 for you? And slow down and listen. Like, they have a very important point. I've attended and observed lots of level 10 meetings. And when we get to ask that question, when I get like a really low rating and everyone rates high, and I ask like, what would have made today a 7 or an 8? They provide great insight. And so the team listens, and then maybe it's an issue we put on the list, or maybe just a commitment. We'll better next week and start to track that. So that's your rating system. Goals the 10, 8 to 10. Was this the best use of our time? Now, I've added a separate tab here that's not typically seen on a level 10 meeting agenda. This is the long-term issues list. Again, from my experience, our issues list gets out of control sometimes. Sometimes it's short, sometimes it's 30 to 50 issues. Well, if we know that issue is not something we can solve this 90 days because we already have our rocks established, we recognize it's an important or an urgent issue, but it's not as important or urgent as the other priorities we've set aside, then we need to do ourselves a favor, keep this issues list clean, the short-term issues list, and just move everything over here to the long term that can wait until next quarter. Then when you are reconciling your quarter rocks and starting to set rocks for the next quarter, you come to this long-term issues list to peruse it, see what needs to come off and go on the board on the laundry list to be considered for next quarter's rocks. This is my complete tour of this template. I hope you're finding it useful. If you have any suggestions or you've come up with some iterations that's been helpful for your team, please drop them in the comments below. We will read them, take them into consideration, and see if they would apply. If you need anything, call us at Integrator Impact. We're here to support you. Best of luck with your level 10 meetings.